family, the Hun family, and it's because of them that I even stand here today. So, and I know that somehow, some way, little, big, you know, whatever, they've found a way to have a blessing on all of us standing here. So can we do the right thing and just give the family a big hand? Woo! I see Jim over there, the big boss. He's keeping an eye on me. Army Ranger, he might take me out at any moment. What would I want to tell you today that maybe not tell you something, but maybe just remind us? And probably the same, I just want to share maybe just a little bit of my heart about some reminders. I want you to think about something for a second. I want you to think about this question. If I said, who's your leader? Who's your leader? I'm curious at some answers.
I am.
Oh, you guys are better than me. You know, so many times we look up, we wait. It's like, what's Ryan, what's Megan, what's Martha, what's Jim, what are they going to do? What are they going to put together? What should we do? And at the end of the day, it's like every one of us has leadership in us, and it needs to start with the person that you see in the mirror, right? And, you know, there's a lot of definitions to leadership. You know, I believe that, you know, the scope of your leadership is not what you do here while we're all hanging out, although it's cool to hang out and be together. It's what are you going to do when it's just you? And what action will you take then will determine not only leadership, but it starts to determine and it starts to shape us into who we are and what our character truly looks like. Look, I loved playing baseball and being on the field and 50,000 people there, and that was cool. I mean, when I did good, it was cool. Lots of bad times, but here's the point is, how about the early mornings and the late nights of working when not only there wasn't a teammate around, there wasn't a coach around, there wasn't my, at that time, leader around, and there were no fans to watch. What would I do then to strive to be the best that I can be? You know, I said last week, the greatest habit you'll ever create for your life is pursuing wherever you are, in your work, your job, your life, your family. If you can just get to a place where it's like, I'm gonna pursue just being the best version of me, right? Here's what happens when you have that kind of pursuit. You really start to become and find your authentic self, your real self. Look, I heard Michelle Obama say this. I don't want to get into this war here right now. But I was like, wow, that is so profound. And here's what she said. When I'm with my friends at lunch prior to the White House, I'm Michelle Obama. It's me, it's who I am. I'm with my friends. And she goes, and what I did is when we got to the White House, I just maintained being me because it was easier to realize and understand how am I supposed to act. And she realizes, like, I just got to be me, right? How many times has someone said, I'm going RVP, and then didn't even go out and get a customer in the next 90 days? How many times did we not even make a call? We weren't peaking people. We weren't in phase one. But we made a claim in a place because it sounded good, and then we had to go home and other things. So I would tell you that leadership is really important, and it starts with us being the leader. You know, and it's not about you leading or telling others, but it's you leading and telling yourself, and then holding yourself accountable to raising the standards to pursuing the best you can. That's my first thing. I only got 3 things. I'm going to get out of here. The second thing is environment. And I want you to think about the environment we're all in right now. Is this pretty cool? Yeah. But when we go home to our homes and to our separate teams and to our whatever, the environment sometimes can change from here to there. Would we agree? Yeah. So if you're going to be the leader, it's up to us to maintain the environment and to raise the standards of our environments everywhere. Now, when you say environment, it's not, and I'm talking about environment not just for ACM, but really for your whole life. I'll give you an example. If you made the commitment to read a book, just 30 minutes a day, I just talk about reading a book because it's simple. Have we all read at least one book? Yeah. So if you made the commitment to yourself, it's like, I'm going to read a book, and I'm going to read 30 minutes a day. The goal and the idea would be to put the book in the right environment. So I'll give you an example. If the book was in your guest bedroom on a bookshelf, and that's where the books were, how did it would become, look, I know you think, oh, it's a big deal. I'll walk in there, grab the book, and do my reading. No, you won't. How do we know? Because think about it. When you made some sort of commitment to doing something, here's what I would tell you. Willpower and all of these things to do the follow-through piece of this is based on making sure that whatever you committed to, you make that commitment and you put that commitment in the right environment so you don't have to have as much willpower. So for an example, when the new year comes and we all decide we're going to go to the gym and we're going to go work out and we're going to get in the best shape of our life, but we got to drive an hour to get to the gym, how long would that last? Probably not very long. Right? Like I can find a lot of reasons why I don't want to drive an hour to go work out. Right? So you'd have to put yourself in the right environment. So based on that, I just want to make sure we understand. So when you think about it, is what environment will you put yourself into so that you can work a home-based business where you don't go 3 days and it's like, 4 days, 5 days. Because look, days add into weeks, weeks then add into months. So how can as we leave here, when you think environment, where should your list be? Everywhere you can see it. See, if your list that you have the people you're going to call peak, and I'm going to talk about customers here in a second, but if that list is buried in a phone or a computer or a desk or a bag, here's what I would tell you. I would get the list. So you don't have to waste the time of writing it out a bunch of times. Just go copy it like 20 different times and put it on your bathroom mirror, put it on your refrigerator. See, you want to keep your list to building your business in your environment so that then now you put yourself in an environment where ACN is always all around you so days don't turn into weeks and weeks don't turn into months. Does this make sense? Yeah. That's number 2. Number 3, then I'm going to get out of here. First of all, have you gotten anything out of this?
Yeah. Yes.
Don't lie to me. The third thing is, I don't want to de-edify anything we've ever done up till this point. I don't want to de-edify any services. I don't want to de-edify, because I believe with Tony, there's a value for every single service. And I've spent a lot of time talking with Tony Kupas over the last 3-4 months and preparing for this day and for tomorrow and for this weekend. And I want you to think about it, how many people have been here at least once to a national, right? So I don't want to scare the new people for a second, all right? But I want to say this is, people who have been here time and time again, and I'm looking around and I see a lot of familiar faces. And we come to this environment, we get charged up, we're going to go home, we're going to explode our businesses, and all of these things are going to happen, and then we get a week later, and we're like, wow, Tony Kupas made it sound so much easier, and now the reality's setting in, and it's like, this is not like Tony said 1 week ago. Has anybody ever felt that way besides me? That's it?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Watch this. That's all gone now. That's history. See, a few days ago, and I don't know, maybe it was a week, I don't even know when it was, but it was a few days to a week ago, I got an email to be a test to be able to sign up for identity theft early and to test their, I guess they had a number of people do it, and so they tested whatever, and I was like, got to be the test. Now, during these 3 months of talking and working with Tony, and him talking about, and tomorrow he's gonna blow all your minds about the simplicity in this whole thing, so I don't wanna ruin that, but I will say this. I was, the whole time Tony's talking to me, and about us, me, my team, us, all of us, just rebuilding with new people, with and just a new mindset and a new excitement and a new urgency. And I'm like, and we got this new service, identity theft. And I'm so excited and I'm pumped up, and I'm on team calls and I'm promoting that ACN will never ever be the same. And in my 9 years, and here's what I would tell the team, and it's like, listen, in 9 years, we had the ability, for me, in this business for 9 years, we can acquire a customer from someone who already has the service. They already have what we market, and now it's gonna depend up to me to create enough value from them, or a favor, or lean on them, right? Or do whatever I gotta do to acquire enough customers to put myself in a position to earn 10% residual income. Make sense? But this will be the first time for me, and maybe for some of you, that we get to market a service that most people don't have, and every single person in the country, including my 4-year-old child, it's a must that they need. They need it. We have something people need, but they're not currently paying for. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
For the first, I'm gonna tell you, and the now came time for the test. I'm so excited, and I started to think about this, and I was like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have identity theft prior to going through the test. And here's why I didn't have it. I didn't understand the value of having it. No one ever sold me on the value of the service. Now, I know there's commercials, but do we skip those things?
Yep.
So I missed them. I missed it. And anything on the radio, when it goes to any kind of commercials, it's like, new channel, right? Are you guys with me? So I guess there's a company called LifeLock. And I guess they've been getting some customers, right? And here, think about it. And they're supposed to be the best. They have 5 million. How many people live in this country?
Lots.
More than that.
330 million.
Oh,
They're ours.
Right? So I'm excited, and I'm starting to understand the value. Talking to Tony, I'm getting jacked up. But all I could think about in my mind is, I'm praying, please be simple. Because listen to me, without my wife, I wouldn't have any customers in 9 years. Let's be real. No, I'm being real. I'll be like, I don't know how that works. People, and they're like, aren't you an RVP? I said, yeah. That doesn't mean I know how it works. I'm like, my wife did it. Call her, for God's sakes, right? But the point is, here we are. And they're talking about it's going to be this movement, and I'm getting charged up. And Tony, for 3 months, man, I've been like, and it comes time for the test. I get the email. I got goosebumps thinking about it. And I was like, I don't want to click it. Because first of all, I'm scared. I'm afraid I can't get through it by myself. And I'm like, wow, what would I tell Tony? Because you only had like 24 hours to do it. If he says, dude, you didn't take the test. I'm like, sorry, bro, I couldn't get through it. And all of 3 months of excitement, of simplicity, and of duplication, all came down to, can I get through this? So I got my wife. I said, just stay in the room. I'm gonna click this. If I get to a place I can't finish, I'm gonna need you to step in and do this. But I'm praying, I'm like, come on, please, because if I can do it, then I know this is possible. And I click it, and it goes, poof. Identity ID seal, the website. I was like, wow, okay. I was like, what? It says, get protected. Poof. pick a plan. You can have this plan if you're by yourself, and you can have this plan if you got kids, and bring your kids on board. And I was like, okay, we got some kids. I think we should pick that plan. We pick it, right? Pick the plan, and it goes poof, and it tells us all the coverage. And it says get protected. And I hit it, and it's like, boom. I was like, oh, come on, man. Not too many slides. Name, like, after 53 years, even I can spell my last name. My phone number, email, and my wife's like, you got it? I said, no, I'm not done yet. Stay here, right? I go through my address, credit card, number, expiration, code on the back. Boom. And I'm afraid. I'm like, come on. And the next slide it says, boom, congratulations.
Woo!
Whoa. I was in my bedroom at the desk. I looked around. Holy crap, I did it. I took pictures. Every time it was a new thing, I took a picture. It's like so funny. It's like 4 pictures. Website, pick the plan, put your name in, and congratulations. I was like, wow. Listen, how many of you have ever ordered a book on Amazon?
Yes.
Let me tell you why this was easier. Sometimes I didn't know the author. Sometimes I couldn't spell the name of the book. So sometimes I was having a hard time finding the book on Amazon because it might show you anything close. Does this make sense? Listen, this was so simple. And it took me about 60 seconds to become a customer.
Yep.
Now wait a minute. I had no training. None. Which means somebody can get a customer on ID theft protection with no training. Wait a minute, I need you to get it. All of you can sign up for ID theft. You don't need to know how. You just gotta get protected. You gotta learn how to type your name. You guys get this so far? For the first time for me in 9 years, I understood what simplicity means when it comes to ACN. Now, I called people on my team, some of them are here. I'm like, listen, I was so excited. I was shaking, I had goosebumps. I was pacing like a caged lion. I was like, you don't even understand what ACN is gonna look like for us moving forward. Now, because here's what I would tell you, if you've been here before, you've seen this company launch certain new services. Yes or yes?
Yes.
And you heard, people were fired up, people were excited. And you got home and you're like, it's just not that simple. Yes or yes?
Yes.
I'm not de-edifying anything from the past, because look, I'm here because I love what we do. I gotta tell you something. And in 9 years, I've only trained customer acquisition 1 time. Where's Joan? Joan has never heard me train, she's in my market. Because I'm like, I can't train something I can't do. Does it make sense? Right? Listen, every training I go to now, I'm like, give me this. I got this. I got this. I own this. So I'm going to tell you how to do this. Here's what, I'm not going to tell you how, I'm going to give you a suggestion. Deal?
Yes.
Because you're the leader. So, over the last 30 days or so, I've had a lot of conversations with people. I ask them, do you have identity theft? They say no. I go, me either. I ask them why they don't have it. They start telling me why they need it.
Wow.
I don't tell them they need it. They start telling me how they need it. Now here's what's crazy. I have about 57 people ready to sign up for identity theft. That's 114 customer points. I have never acquired a customer point in 9 years. My wife did a really good job. Deal? You guys got it. I'm gonna do 114 next month. This month. Wait a minute, whoa. Minimum. Wait a minute, listen to me though. So I start thinking about this. And Tony was telling me, listen, you can build a business without having to go and sit down for hours and help people get customers. Like, it's like a root canal. It's like rip their teeth out, right? And wait a minute. So when I personally sign someone up, which is gonna take place either today or tomorrow, a personal recruit, my first one in a long time, my new team, new people, new blood, new excitement. And I told Tony, in fairness, I'm not doing it until we have this because I want them to have this experience. Sign up, become their own customer, right? 2 points for them, 2 points for their spouse. Get a family member, 2 points from that one, 2 points from their spouse. You guys got it so far? How many points is that? 8 points, right? That's 4 services. Are you qualified? Did you just make $100? Yeah. You see what's getting ready to take place? No, wait a minute. So here's my mindset. Go get 20 customers. Martha can tell you when she got into the business that her son said, go get 20 customers. And those 20 customers were 20 long distance customers from 20 different homes. Right. Listen, 20 customers or 10 households if they're married or have someone living in the house. So you're one, and if you got a spouse, they're number 2. You guys got it? Yep. And it's like, and if I go to 9 other homes, how many points is that? 40 points. Now hold on a minute. And no one here needs training on how to do this. You guys got it so far? Yeah. And we have a service we're going to market to the country that they don't have and they need. Yeah. You guys got it so far? Yeah. And it's the #1 identity theft protection product in the country. You got it so far? Yeah. And it's less than $30 a month. You got it so far? Yeah. You see, now wait a minute. So when you leave here, your first week, here's what our team is doing. You guys can decide what you're doing. Everyone goes and gets 20 customers. Now here's why. Because when they get their 20 customers, you know what they're going to realize? How easy it is. And when they realize how easy it is, and they see the simplicity of it, what's going to happen then? I want you to think psychology. Belief levels start to rise. And as belief levels start to rise, what happens? All those people start talking to people, and here's why. Because they then, or now, or from this point moving forward, believe you can recruit anyone and help them make money. Yes. I want you to think about the psychological move and the simplicity of that. Just by getting customers, you're going to first be the leader and work on your belief, and based on your belief, you're going to have the excitement that I have to want to go talk to people about partnering with me, about taking the product to the entire country, and how big of a business we can build around that. So 20. So your mission is 20 customers. You start with you go get 20 in the first week. You're not even going to believe how you're recruiting it. Listen, when it comes to team building and Saturday training, I don't want to say that. When it comes to team building, you don't have to work. People are going to show up. Here's my point. Now watch this. I'm going to show you customer acquisition training that I did last Saturday in Phoenix, shortened version, because I'm going to get out of here. You ready? How many of you, prior to the ACN ID theft, how many of you had ID theft? By raise of hands. Keep them up. Now you had it before. Okay, take a look around. All right? If you didn't have it before, raise your hand. Now take a look around at that number. Now wait a minute. Watch this. Watch this. That what we just went through is the representation of the entire country. But wait a minute. How many of you have ever had an ID theft issue by a raise of hands? Take a look around. Wow. Keep them up. Now, what I would really love to do is bring those stories up here, because this is how I would train it. Your ID was compromised? Come tell them. Let me tell you something. That story, them telling those people, you guys got it so far?
Yeah.
Now, I want you to think about all the people that raised your hand. Watch this one. How many of you have insurance on your home or car, or both? Raise your hands if you got homeowners insurance or auto insurance. Raise your hands. Keep them up for me. Take a look around. You know what we just learned? Your car and your home is more valuable to you than you as a person. Now hold on a minute. We're not insuring us, but I'm going to insure a home. I've been paying homeowners insurance for 33 years. And not one time have I ever called them with a claim. But I continue to pay month after month just in case something happens.
Right.
The question is, and when all the people that have had our identity stolen, raise your hands real quick, or had a problem, raise your hands. Listen, I want you to look around. Wait a minute, I want you to look around. If you got a friend here, you need to talk to them and you need to understand what they went through. Here's why. Because you're going to learn conversations on how to take it to the marketplace of the information. And by learning from them, when you talk to someone like me, who never understood it, their story is going to create value for me that says, I think I need this. Does this make sense?
Yes.
How many customers do every single one of us need to get this next week, identity theft?
20.
No, what's the number? I can't hear you.
20.
20. Now watch this. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to do. If you got 10 people on your team here. Well, listen. Whoa, slow down. How many customer points is that in a week for you? It's 400. Wait a minute. It's 400 in a week. I want you to think about something as you stand here. When was the last time 400 customer points went into your organization? Not even in a week, in a month. Now, wait a minute. That's how many customer points does it take to get to regional director?
600.
400 in a week. Let me tell you something. If you can get a handful of people getting identity theft customers with you, if you're the only one here, and this is your first convention, you could go RD in 30 to 60 days.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you what's going to happen to belief level in organizations when this happens. Because I promise you, here's what I promise you. Next convention, you're going to hear about 30 and 60-day regional director promotions based on one service. One. And it can be you, if you'll be the leader of you, if you put yourself in the right environment, and you'll go out and build your belief, because as you build your belief, you're going to start doing this. And it's like, you don't have to look too far. That was a bug ID theft, you know. The point is can you see what's going to happen?
Yes.
Now, if you got 10 people, 400 customer points in 1 week. Here's what's going to happen. At the end of the week, you're going to get together with the 10 people. What'd you hear? Watch this. What'd you hear? You got some customers. Did anybody say no? Yeah. What'd they say? Why'd they say no? Let's learn. Look, it's time we all learn together. Let's learn why people told us no. You know why? Because then we have more armor to go to when someone says no. Here's why they said no. Now we can prepare for the next no. See, we got a new service we've never had our hands on. So we got to go. Every no is an education to like crazy amounts of customers. Does it make sense? So after the first week, you have a meeting of the meetings of your people. And you're like, what'd you learn? What'd you find out? What stories did you hear? And then you guess what? You go out for week number 2 and you do what? You go get 20 customers. That's 800 points in 2 weeks. I don't know if you see it yet. I went backstage, talked to Tony. He He's so excited he can't talk. We were just jumping up and down and we're high-fiving and we're hugging. And Greg is like, what are you guys doing? We're like, ID theft protection. He's like, wow. And Greg was like, I can't go there. All right. And he says, Tony says, come here, look at this. Yesterday at 5 o'clock I started. I sent out some text. I haven't talked to one of these people. I got 19 customers. Whoa! He got 19. He goes, I haven't even had a conversation with him. I sent out a text. They said, yeah, whatever. Send it to him. We sent it to him. He sent them the deal. They went on and did it. They sent him a text back saying, done. He says, I had one lady says, hey, do you want some more credit? He said, sure, why not? And she went in, she sent the website to some of their friends, and then they got protected. He goes, bro, I got 19. I got 19. I haven't even talked to anyone yet. See, for the first time, because of the ease, because if I sent you, sir, by the way, I love the hat, man. You styling, boss. All right, listen. If I sent you my link, I don't need to train you on what to do, on how to sign up. You can actually build a business from this thing. Now watch. If you can build the belief in that you can build it from this, that means you can recruit anybody in this country and they don't have to live in your hometown. And here's why. Because you're going to tell them, you're going to become your own ID theft customer, go get your 20 customers, call me when you're done, we'll go to step 2. In the past, if I recruited, if I'm in Phoenix, I recruit someone in New York, I might be on the phone for days trying to get them qualified over the phone. And now they're just going to go out and get their account. Do you see what's going to happen to our business?
Yes.
Listen, I hope you got something out of this. If not, one last thing. One last thing. You ready? Yeah. It gets crazier. I learned how to get the link from my store. So listen. Is there any compliance? No, I'm just kidding. Listen, I learned how to get the link from the ID piece of my store so that when I send the link, I'm not sending my entire store. If you don't know how, you got to get that piece. Because then you're just sending, and then they're just going right to ID theft, saying get protected, and you're getting customers like every minute like this is going to go crazy. Let me give it up to you. Congratulations for being here. Yeah. Let's go have some fun.